Every time you open a social media app, you step into an environment engineered for speed. The platforms want you scrolling and reacting as fast as possible, leaving no time to check if what you are looking at is true. This creates a closed loop. You scroll, a post triggers an emotional reaction, and you instantly hit share. Notice what's missing: logic. To break that loop, you must deliberately drop a mental barrier between trigger and reaction. We call this the strategic pause. People often think they don't need to pause because they assume fake news is obvious. They look for poor spelling, weird website addresses, or claims that sound absurd. But modern deceptive content doesn't look like a sloppy scam. It looks polished. It uses high-quality graphics, professional formatting, and even copies official logos to bypass your visual defenses. This diagram breaks down the 5 formats of fake news. It rarely looks like a traditional article. Instead, deception hides in short posts, memes, or cropped media. These formats strip away vital context, forcing a quick, unverified conclusion. Researchers distinguish between false information based on the intent of the person sharing it. Misinformation is false, but it's shared by someone who actually believes it's true and wants to help. Disinformation is intentionally manufactured to deceive you. If you treat all false content as malicious lies, you miss the actual danger. A lot of the deceptive content you see will be well-meaning misinformation forwarded by your own trusted friends and family. That means you need behavioral discipline, no matter who sends you the post. This board lays out the core questions for media claims. Think of this as the pause protocol, a simple 4-step checklist designed to evaluate threats with minimal effort. The first step isolates the claim. You must ask, what is actually being stated here? False posts are usually wrapped in heavy emotional packaging, jokes, insults, or outrage. Once you strip all of that away and find the core factual statement, verifying it becomes a very fast process. The second question is about accountability. Who is making the claim? You need to look past the username and check the actual domain and the author's bio. A named journalist, an established institution, or a verified expert has a track record you can check. If they lie, there are professional consequences. An anonymous aggregator page doesn't carry that risk. They are just optimizing for viral engagement. Because of that, you should apply a hard rule: no source, no share. If a post doesn't tell you where the information came from, it stops with you. Anonymity is useful for bad actors. It allows a single entity to rapidly switch masks, making a fringe opinion look like massive public agreement. Taking 30 seconds to verify a source forces you out of the platform's closed loop. That tiny bit of friction is the only thing standing between you and accidentally amplifying a scam to your entire personal network. The third question on this board focuses on the proof. What evidence supports the isolated claim, and what specific dates and locations apply? It's very common to see a screenshot of a headline or a text message presented as absolute proof. But screenshots are incredibly fragile evidence. They can be altered in minutes, and without a link to the original source, they are virtually meaningless. Even real, factual information can be weaponized. By cherry-picking specific data points or cropping the context out of a photograph, a deceptive post can create a completely false narrative using technically real materials. The fourth and final question is a behavioral check. What specific reaction does this post want from you right now? Manipulative content often demands immediate action. If a post tells you to be afraid, get angry, or share urgently before it gets taken down, that is a deliberate tactic engineered to bypass your logical processing. This is where educated users get trapped. When a post aligns perfectly with your worldview, your brain naturally absorbs it, ignoring glaring red flags. Your own emotional reaction is actually your best early warning system. If you feel a sudden surge of righteous anger or panic while scrolling, that is the exact moment you need to slow down. Recognizing that you are being emotionally manipulated allows you to step back and reclaim your agency. You transform a reflexive, platform-driven click into an intentional, defensive choice. You can't investigate every post. This quadrant maps claim severity against verification effort. Bottom left, low-stakes claims like memes have negligible harm. Apply zero effort and scroll past. Top-right high-stakes claims, like medical advice or crisis news, carry severe harm and demand mandatory, deep verification. If you're someone who instinctively shares everything, adopting this severity map means giving up the quick dopamine hit of being the first to post, but it effectively insulates your community from actual real-world harm. And if you're an overconfident scroller who thinks you're too smart to be fooled, this map requires you to acknowledge your own blind spots. Accepting your emotional vulnerability is the only way to defend against highly polished fakes designed specifically for your demographic. Once you've executed the pause protocol, you reach this final decision matrix. You have 4 concrete choices: share, ignore, report, or verify further. Blindly trusting everything you read is dangerous, but total paranoid distrust is equally lazy. Neither approach requires you to actually think.
Better judgment sits in the middle, checking, comparing, and waiting for evidence. In an environment that is constantly moving at hyperspeed, having the discipline to simply say, "I do not know yet," is one of the most powerful, protective stances you can take. Mastering the pause is the most critical digital skill for the modern era. This behavioral discipline, not your IQ or technical knowledge, is what ultimately protects your wallet, secures your personal health, and defends your public reputation.